live! Today we're going to talk about some spooky, kind of scary-ish sort of movies. So it's kind of a theme-ish episode, I guess.
Yeah, themed a bit.
We're going to be talking about From, which is a series on Prime Video.
Specifically through MGM
Yeah,
Studios.
through MGM, which we did have to...
Get a little plus.
Yeah, you have to pay a little
Plug
extra
in.
for it. But it is really good. Mikhail, you saw it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Saw some clips like
I
online or
saw it.
something?
Those damn reels. They'll get
Oh,
you as you're
okay.
going. I saw some clips of it and it felt like something we would really be into. I was correct.
Yeah, it's been a time.
It's so good.
And then we're also going to talk about Prey, which is it's like in the Alien Predator kind of universe, but it takes place in the 1700s and
In the plains here in North America.
North America, and there's Native American tribes and some other stuff going on, but like the main character
And a predator.
is she's a native tribes person.
Oh.
And
Amber Midthunder.
yes, Amber Midthunder, she did awesome. And yeah, she wants to be like a hunter in the tribe, and I don't know, she, kind of like the classic
Comanche.
Comanche, yes.
That is their...
Yes, their tribe. Yeah, the
and
Comanche
that
tribe.
is her actual ethnicity as well. She's actually...
Cool. Yeah, I know there was a dedication to the Choctaw people at the end, which was pretty cool.
Not Choctaw. Comanche.
Or Comanche, sorry.
That's
I don't know
okay,
why
yeah.
keep saying that.
I said Choctaw to start. I think I put us off on the wrong track. I was thinking of someone else. But yes, Amber Midthunder, the main actress,
It was
Comanche
it was really
tribe.
cool. We'll talk about it, though. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really good.
Really fun. All right, From.
Talking about some cool shit.
We're talking about some cool mother
Adorable. Well, it's
Adorable.
not a curse word, but cute.
fluffy little
Mothers.
boys. They make scary noises.
We all do sometimes.
From.
From the series. It messes me up that that's what it's called. I really don't like
Yeah.
that. The series is called
Yeah, it's
From.
called From, which I feel like is obviously going to mean something eventually, but we haven't really...
Yeah,
Just-
I mean, you can speculate.
Yeah.
General premise really quick, because it's not... I think this is one that not everyone that... Well, our couple folks that watch this, I don't know
Mhm.
if it's super popular
Yeah.
among folks yet. It seems to be really popular in the Middle East, I saw.
Oh, really?
And some of your other European countries. You're introduced at the beginning... Does it start out with the family?
Yeah,
I
it
believe
does.
So, yeah. Okay, so you're introduced to a family that's traveling.
And they're in an RV.
They're in an RV. They come to a roadblock. It's a giant tree. This isn't a spoiler. It's just you'd very quickly realize this is important. There's a tree down in the road, and they see some crows circling above. It's very ominous.
Mm-hmm.
They get out, check the tree out, get back in the van, RV, and they drive back. Turn around, head back. Realize they drove through this little town,
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't really have a name. They just call it the town. They wind up in this town that they try to drive through, quickly realize that wherever they drive, they're just ending up back in this small
Yeah,
town.
so like they hit this tree, and then once they turn around, there's just no way for them to
get out
of the town. It's just like it just like loops them.
And before they know it, they get in town and they say, "There's danger at nighttime. You gotta get inside. Trust me or you're gonna die." But actually, that's not quite what happens. Something goes awry.
Yeah, it's
But that's the
Yeah, but
premise.
that's, like, the
people,
premise.
People get sucked into this town.
yeah. People just keep like showing up there.
Dangerous
When the
things
family
happen at
shows
night.
up, there's a whole bunch of people there, and like there's always like dangerous stuff basically happening at night. I don't really want to give it away, I guess, because like the more it's
That's-
just like a big mystery that like really. Hey,
Well, that's a general premise. I think we will talk about it a little more in depth here, so maybe give a timestamp of when we're done talking about it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you want to watch it for yourself and don't want to know any more details than that, just go watch the first episode. You'll be hooked, I swear. But here's
Yeah.
the timestamp for other folks.
Yeah.
Come here, Fizzy. You're a star. Come here. Just don't bark and growl at things, please. Come here. I'll help you. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
No.
Fizzy has entered the chat. Okay. Anyway, so from
Yeah,
where
so
did we leave off? Just
a bunch
that
of people
things
are
happen at
basically
night.
stuck in there. And at night, it literally, like, once sundown happens, it's basically like, almost like zombies, I want to say, kind of.
Content warning, it is pretty gory. Maybe just put a rating up when we introduce it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a horror show.
Now that I'm thinking of it, it is horror, and you are introduced to the family in the first episode, but it opens with a pretty vicious murder, the mom and the child. That's not a spoiler.
Oh,
right off the bat.
I forgot, yeah.
It's pretty nasty. So if you are sensitive to seeing, like, children in makeup that makes them look dead because there are dead children in the show.
Yeah, just people in general, yeah.
Some pretty nasty gore, but especially the children are pretty shocking. Yeah, I always feel more shocked to see a blown apart child than a blown apart adult. It has to be fun to act it out though for all those little kid actors. They get to dress up in some gnarly special effects.
Yeah, and there's like some like little creepy kids too, like later on.
For sure.
That are, because the kind of zombie things that they see kind of originally, they only come out at night, and they're just like really creepy looking people until they get up close to you. The main premise is just pretty intriguing to start with, but then there's like just because of like so many people just like showing up, there's just like a crazy cast of, you know, different varying sort of people from all
over the country. That's something I didn't mention yet.
Yeah, I don't know, that's from, I think somehow from,
it's
like that's
something about where everyone's from.
Yeah, everyone's just showing up from
is,
different places.
Where is this town from? Where are the monsters from? You're constantly asking, where is, like, what is this? Where is this from?
Yeah.
But yeah, the cast of characters, I don't know if you want to talk about individually, but I have been really impressed with everybody. Yeah,
there's the acting.
I don't really recognize anybody per se.
Apparently, I think the main guy who plays Boyd, who's like the sheriff of the town, and he's like a father figure, or he is a father to one of the other characters, but then also kind of just a father figure to a couple other characters as well, just because of like his place in the town and, you know, him trying to help everybody and stuff. And
he takes up sheriff. I believe he's ex-military.
Yes, he was like he was an ex-military of some sort. I can't remember what he was, but he was specifically set up bases, basically. Like, he set up bases in war zones for military like groups to move into afterwards. So he's really good at like organizing. He helped everyone in the town because before he showed up, a lot of people were dying more.
Yeah.
And he figured out some stuff.
He found a way to keep safe from the monsters. You find out right in episode 1 how that is.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool like little show mechanic kind of to keep people safe and also
it kind of feels
lead to some cool
fights. I was excited to find out maybe what the mystery of it all was and deep dive into it, but I'm almost feeling at this point that we might not get that like clear explanation. I'm gonna stay kind of vague with my words here, but it seems that there's so you see like symbols on something, right? And an object has an effect, we'll say, on the creatures out there, the people. I was excited to maybe learn what those symbols meant, but I think it's more supposed to be not arbitrary, maybe abstract, more of just like a thing where it's like, okay, here's an object that is going to be thrown into the mix for this purpose, and now we're going to throw this at you, and now this character's thrown at you. It almost seems like a big jumble of someone messing with them, maybe. I don't know. Now I'm getting into theories of what's going on.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that the symbolism is. Hey, Mama.
Mama Kitty. I was getting more into like theorizing about it. Maybe we should just go zoom back out for a minute and just talk about what we like about it.
Yeah, I think that's good. More review style, so people can
watch it for yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, main premise, really, it's just so interesting, and it really it does make you kind of want to just keep watching the next episode to see what next little puzzle piece is in there, or if they'll connect something. You know, sometimes it is kind of drawn out, but it's usually connected by a bunch of different character interactions and them getting stuck in different situations and stuff, and having those little bits of character plot and development and stuff. And it's, I don't know, it's good. So there's been a couple bits where the acting really good. Sometimes the people's lines has seemed a little goofy to me, but then I usually see where it's going.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it just like seems like a character starts acting a certain way out of the blue a little bit.
Yeah, the script writing, I think they definitely, you've said this point many times, that the show definitely has their idea set. They know what's going to happen. They have had it set. And if that's not true, they're doing a good job running by the seat of their pants.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything's planned out very well here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see what that means. But I feel like they wrote the script after they had everything set as far as like points.
Yeah.
And they needed a character to behave a certain way for this scene to make sense. So it does make sense when you are done watching that scene, but a couple times I agree.
It just seems like, oh, why is this happening? But also the town itself kind of has like influence over the people psychologically, because it's just,
it can
I mean,
always
A,
go
it's just
back
such
to
a
that.
messed up situation, but then B, there seems to be some like outer influences there to really just mess with people's heads, and it gets people to just like, you know, act strange or think things they wouldn't usually, or, you know,
kill people,
take actions, or do violent things to people that they wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
Because they're already in a really stressful situation. Sometimes there's like stuff about shortages with like food and water and stuff like that, because it's like only a finite place. So even without the zombies and stuff, I can't even remember.
Busy. Look what you've done.
Well, yeah, the cast, yeah. So the plot points and stuff. For the actual story,
seems well done.
Seems set. If you're looking for, like, one thing I kind of get annoyed by with shows on Netflix and stuff sometimes is they seem like they try to jump to a sort of conclusion at the end of the season. So if the show gets canceled, at least it kind of left off in a, you know, a way where like the romantic interests and stuff showed that they, you know, cared for each other and kind of stuff like
Things
that.
were neatly tied.
Sort of tied up.
Too neatly tied up. This one, I feel like they're
no, like every season is like, there's no like soft reset kind of thing happening. It's like the story is just, it's just going. It's still going. The first season's over and you're like, oh my god, what the hell? And what the fuck is gonna happen right now? And then it just keeps on going, and it's not like
it keeps
it's not like
up.
It jumps back and is like, oh, well, it's the beginning of the season, so we have to chill back out, and some of the relationships have to reset a little bit and stuff.
Nope.
Nah, dog. It's not like that at all. Not like that at all. If anything, everything just ramps up more, and more connections get made because more people show up after the second season, which we won't reveal how, but that in itself is crazy. And yeah, more people meet each other, and there's, you know, different conflicts between people too of what people think they should do in the situation, because some people want to, obviously they want to get the fuck out. They want to get the fuck out of there because it's crazy and it's like so trauma inducing and like it's stressful all the time, and you know, they don't see a way of getting out, and they just want to figure that out. They want to figure out a way. And some people are like, no, we need to just, there's no, you know, it's so easy to die here. We just need to figure out how to survive as well as possible.
Without spoiling details, there are a whole range of circumstances. Like, people have been there for, you know, you see the family that arrives there day one, but there's also a guy that has been there since he was like 7.
Yeah, and he's like
and he's
50 years old or something like that. Almost.
He's got to be 60.
At least. Pushing it. Yeah,
at least they want him to look old.
Yeah.
The actor's younger, but all people of all ages, and they've been there for all various amounts of time.
And that, yeah, those things all just intermingle together and sometimes like push and pull against each other.
In terms of how the show keeps ramping up, and that doesn't backtrack at all. You were discussing connections, and I think because of something they discover in episode 1, they're no longer having to hide at nighttime. Like, everyone used to just be on your own. These monsters, if they found you, that's it. Something happens and they have a little bit more of at least an illusion of protection, I'll say. Or it's protection. I'll say it's protection. But as the people start to get that sense of confidence, and hope is an important part of the thing too, but as they start to make connections with each other, it almost seems like the place gets more pissed off.
Yeah.
So as they're making more connections, it's gonna throw more shit at them.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
Don't
it's
figure it out. We want
yeah.
you guys to be split apart.
It's weird. It's
but
very
also,
weird.
at the same time, it seems like a lot of the circumstances are pushing people together to make connections.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what forces may or may not be at play. It might all be one entity. It might.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
And I'm curious because apparently,
crazy.
Boyd, the sheriff guy, I think I read somewhere that he was in Lost.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe the writers or anything had something to do with Lost because it's such a crazy, windy seeming storyline. And Lost, they were just like stuck on an island.
Mm-hmm.
That was inescapable and it was very I've never seen Lost, honestly.
Oh my gosh, we need to watch it, but I don't know if I can do that emotional roller coaster right now.
So yeah, I'm wondering maybe if the writers had something to do with this show or if they cast him because of that kind of role. I don't know what role he played in the
I bet he at least
either,
has some influence, and it makes sense of why he's so good at it. His mind has been there before.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what else? Oh, I did want to say too, I really like the whole thing is like the whole set piece for most of it is basically just this little rundown town. Mm-hmm. And they've made some little modifications and stuff to it, but it's mostly just like small, medium-ish little houses. There's one big set piece of like a big-ish mansion-y old-style farmhouse up on
one that
hill.
reminds reminds me a lot of this house that we live in.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, especially because it has like the more than just 2 floors.
Yeah, and I think the way that what we're talking about is Colony House. It's well, we can say there's 2 main groups. There's the town and then there's the Colony House, and it's like it seems like all the commies live up on the hill on the Colony House. They share and do their hippie stuff, and then everyone in town is civilized, order, capitalism.
So those are kind of the groups.
That's the 2 groups.
Yeah, sort of. There's a lot of different.
There's more to it
crossover
than that.
And stuff, but
yeah,
I just like that.
Awesome.
I like that most of the show is like, I don't know, the set pieces are, especially in the beginning, it's just like houses, a few houses in a very just like rundown little town. And
in the woods.
Yeah, in the woods, just like surrounded by, I don't know, just reminds me of like upstate New York woods kind of.
Anywhere USA.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's like the point of it. It's supposed to be very.
Yeah, like a generic little rundown, little small town, but then they just like there's so much intrigue in it with all of the plot points and the character interactions and stuff. It just like makes that like plain little set so exciting somehow, but really it's not.
Nothing special.
It's not that much. It's like some houses, a diner, that biggish house, and then some woods, and then like when some extra crazy stuff happens, sometimes there's other stuff going on.
I wouldn't even call those things. I wouldn't even call them their own locations. Although we have seen a couple of the locations now. It's more like hallucinations or visions where it alters the scene, the set that it's already on.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's cool. It's cool how it seems to me how minimal the set stuff is and how much they make use of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to me. Also, it's just like it's honestly like it's stressful as fuck. Like it's like a really kind of stressful show to watch sometimes, but like in a good way. You're like, oh shit. And which also I want to say just kind of a sneak peek for the next episode. I feel like I get the same sort of stressful feeling from Fallout, the Fallout show,
yes.
in the same sort of way. Like it keeps you really on your toes.
Stressed.
So we're going to talk about that one in the next episode after this. So yeah.
Stay tuned because the next season, once we watch that, I want to talk about more. We'll talk about spoilers then.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about
After
spoilers from
season.
like season 1 and 2 when the next season comes out. If anyone has watched it since then. So yeah, we'll have like maybe a follow-up spoiler episode.
We'll revisit later. Bye! You've been evicted from the couch for licking your booty hole for too long!
I want to say I want to give it like 8.5.
I'm gonna give it
10.
Yeah, I will 9.5. I am loving it.
Yeah, I am really enjoying it. I'm just the only thing I'm detracting from it a bit is just mostly just the part writing in a couple parts kind of goofed with me a little bit, but I only want to take that away just as like an empirical number, not because I actually think it makes the show that much worse, honestly. I don't want to just end up giving everything a 9 or a 10 all the time, because then I feel like I'm...
Well, I mean, if it's worth us talking about it, it's usually pretty good
True.
or really bad, so...
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's a really good show. I recommend it if you like horror. There is blood, as we said. There's psychological. No nudity, really. Maybe minor nudity. Didn't see any.
I have no... I can't remember. I don't think so. Yeah, it's mostly...
Some language.
Gore and stuff, if that is something you have an issue
Bothersome.
with. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Hey, puppy, that's not your cat food.
You guys are being naughty right
Very.
now. You guys are being little buttheads. Good show. Watch it. Yeah, pretty solid. And it's still going on right now, so you don't have to be afraid of it being canceled quite yet or anything.
Not yet. They have
So,
at least one more season.
Yeah,
and it's one of the... Oh, I was going to say with my rating, I'm rating it 9.5, or at least high enough that I have been stalking all of the actors in production on Instagram and trying to keep up with it. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's got me hooked a little. Definitely.
Yeah, I am excited for the next season to come out. I hope it comes out kind of soonish. I saw something about summer this year potentially.
Yep,
So
that's what I saw too.
that would be cool. Yeah, super good. Very good show. Yes, yes. Better behave yourself, Puppy Gil. Now we're gonna talk about Prey, which is
in the Predator franchise.
Yeah,
or
Predator,
universe.
Alien kind of universe thing. Specifically Predator. I think technically those are just kind of part of the same thing now, since they crossed them over.
AVP universe.
Yeah, but it's the Predators.
I love
Yeah.
Alien movies, Predator movies, the Alien versus Predator movies. I need you to listen to me, little Gil. Stay down. You've been banished.
Being a nuisance, Puppy Gil.
Alien movies were some of the first scary movies. My first ever scary movie, fun fact, was 8-Legged Freaks.
I've never seen that.
Freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, you know what? No, I did see. That's the one where
it's pretty cheesy.
there's spiders just taking over the world, right?
I'm not scared of it anymore, but it definitely spooked me when I saw it. It was my first scary movie, and from there I loved them.
My first scary movie actually was Alien.
Oh yeah? Awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the first scary series, Alien and the Predator movies were the first ones that my dad showed me.
It's the first series I kept up with.
I love those.
The scary series.
I was definitely more of a fan of Alien, but I did really like the Predator movies too. And I always loved Arnold Schwarzenegger as a kid because my dad did too. So I ended up seeing a lot of his movies and stuff. And seeing him fight the Predator, and everything was really cool. The bit with the mud on his face and stuff. If you've seen it. Classic. I was excited to see this one. I thought it was really cool that they really focused on the native aspect of the whole thing, the native people. Comanche warriors.
They're
Comanche?
Come on, let me get the pronunciation quick. Okay, well these all look like text pronunciations. I was hoping to find someone native. Oh, here we go.
Hello everybody, welcome to our first language class that we're going to be taping.
He's just going to say it quick.
He's just going to say it.
I thought he was just going to say welcome to our class.
This is what you'll say. Wika. Enanianza Martin Flores.
Well, that's how you introduce yourself. In
Cole. He's my miracle child.
Cole.
So how does your miracle child?
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this Native American tribe. We're looking at how to say
just
Comanche.
Come on.
Comanche.
okay. Well, I'm going to be saying Comanche. Is that right?
Yes, sure.
I'm
Yes.
sorry if the pronunciation is wrong. I tried my best to
But
find out.
anywho,
They actually worked with the Comanche people.
yeah, a
the
lot of the actors. I'm not sure if all of them are, but definitely.
A lot
At
of
least-
the cast is native at the
Yeah.
very least. I don't know if they're all specifically.
Comanche,
that
yeah.
tribe.
But yeah, the main character is Comanche tribeswoman, and she wants to be a hunter, and basically, you know, her tribe is telling her that she shouldn't be. But
Because she's a lady.
yeah, because she's a lady,
In
basically.
this is the premise in this
Yeah,
telling.
that's
at
like the
least.
main kind of pull. It's really awesome though, and she's like super good at tracking, and she's good at like medicine stuff too. So she does some stuff like that throughout the movie, and then some really cool hunting stuff. Does some cool acrobatic kind of sliding and jumping, and it's like it's really fun watching some of the action sequences, and it was also like pretty stressful at times too.
Oh, very.
Yeah,
Me
even
too.
before the stuff with the predator, you know, like the first 20-30 minutes, I feel like the predator wasn't even really there yet, and that stuff beforehand was just like really cool and fun to watch, and pretty stressful too.
Ambiance, pretty stressful. It's in the I think you said like Great Plains, North America, in the plains. Maybe I should have.
There's definitely buffalo.
There's for sure.
It's like out
there.
west somewhere. And it takes place in like 1718
17
or something like that.
Yep.
So
1719 in the Great Northern Plains. I knew it. I'm pretty sure it just came up and said like Great Northern Plains at one point, and that stuck in my head. But regardless, ambiance very stressful. You're in the woods for some of it. I think we can relate to areas around here. Again, look kind of like our home. But I was gonna say, knowing what predators are capable of as a moviegoer, and I was stressed knowing that the predator was going to show up, and also thinking, oh my god, which I know this is exactly what the movie wanted you to think. These primitive people.
I mean, it was
I mean, they
1700s. I mean,
very early, but before technology, kind of a thing.
yeah,
It was introduced. They didn't have any guns.
a lot different than the other predators, where everyone had like machine guns and
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I can say
military and
it.
stuff.
It was this particular tribe hadn't seen the white man yet. I can say that without spoiling anything. I think.
Yeah.
They hadn't been soiled by the white man yet, but the predator, you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's so much more advanced than her. How is she going to get away, or how are they going to stand a chance? And then you understand that it's all a big hunt. Regardless of the weapons you got, you just gotta be a good hunter. Even with the advanced technology that the predator has.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I'd say the plot is like, it was kind of thin for the most part, but I don't think it really needed
It was meant to be drawn out. I mean, I would compare the whole movie would be the one big long hunt. I could say like one big chase. It felt like.
Yeah, and it only took place in the period of like a day and a half or something like that.
Yeah, there's only a couple
Basically.
scenes of like night versus day.
She wants to be a hunter, and they don't want her to, but then also she saw something that made her think that there was something out there that was a lot scarier than just like the normal predators that are around in their area. She was like, there's something else out here, and if we don't do something about it, then it's gonna hurt people. And then also she just wanted to prove herself as well. They definitely do not believe her at first, so
I will say it was cool to see some of the predator traditions that we know, their behavioral patterns.
yeah.
I'll just say they I won't say what kind of creature, but when they make their kill, he rips the spine out and has the head.
Yeah,
That is a
and
classic.
does the skull trophies.
And I will say, keep that in mind. Remember that is what they do, because there's a little bit of a twist in the movie that I was like, wow, that was clever. Why didn't I see that sooner? You think about a monster. I guess I've already hinted at it a couple times too, but there's you think about the one monster that's out there, you realize there's more than one monster, and or more than one predator. Everywhere
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Not more than one predator. I want to clarify, there isn't two predators. One predator, more than one force trying to take out our main character.
Yeah, and then just her people in general
Yeah.
as well. Acting was, I would say, pretty just good all around. I mean, the script was like pretty sparse because it was a lot of action and stuff like that, so it wasn't like super a super dense script. From but what it was it was good.
I would like to do some more research into the actual Comanche people.
They definitely had some parts that were in like the Comanche language as
Mhm.
well, which was cool. And there was a lot of different like little quirks and like scenes that were kind of unexplained for why they were doing certain things. And I think I'm pretty sure it was like some certain Comanche like traditions or like
Oh yeah, there
just
were
like cultural nods, and it was really cool.
things that were culturally significant that included that we might not pick up on just because we don't know about them.
Yeah, and they didn't really like explain it. It just was,
Normal.
just something that they did, which was cool to see. And I want to do some like research and stuff. to
Although I
see.
will say, the very, very beginning, I was very worried. I think it was like the first 5 minutes of the movie. I was like, oh gosh, were there Native people involved in the production of this? Because the first couple shots, it felt almost like, not forced, but it was very much like, look, there's gonna be a fire, and then here's the mom with the baby on her back, and it felt almost like too rehearsed, maybe? It might have just been because they showed the same scene, I think, more than once, because there was a woman with a baby strapped in a traditional, how you board the baby on her back with like a board, and you tie the baby in. And in that shot, I don't know, maybe they did it on purpose too, but yeah, no, it was nice to know that the things you see happening, it was the authentic cultural piece of it.
Mm-hmm. It definitely makes me want to do some more research, because I obviously don't know too much about like Native culture, like specifically. I mean, they taught us a little bit in school while we were in like elementary school and stuff, but they definitely weren't very
Informative.
detailed or informative about it for the most part.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think both of us were still at the age where you dress up as pilgrims and Native Americans in elementary school.
Oh,
like,
yeah, when we
reenact
were-
stuff.
When we were really little, I guess.
They don't do that anymore.
No,
Which I'm glad to hear about. Yeah, I think back at some of the things we learned, and I'm just like, I just hope people are learning more. And
yeah, I mean, considering
there were a lot of mistakes made, and there are a lot of, for lack of a better word, reparations to be made.
yeah, considering white people fucked over the whole entire like Native people that were here beforehand, I feel like it's
Exactly
at
what
the
they
very
deserve.
least we deserve to learn and respect more about all their cultures. So yeah, if we did better in school in general with that.
And there are
That'd be good.
look up missing and murdered Indigenous women, and I think that there's a plus on the end of that now, because there's also two-spirited people included in there. Men and women, just look it up. It's horrible. There are so many. There's
Just
so much
missing
violence.
Indigenous people.
Yeah, but it's a
Oh, it has like
organization.
oh,
Missing
okay. I
Murder
thought you were just talking
Indigenous
about like
women.
the phenomenon of it, because I knew about that, but
It's messed up. But it was refreshing to see this movie Prey that had some, involvement. And I will speak, we can divert the conversation a little bit. We haven't watched it yet, but Echo, another really cool production with Native influence.
oh really?
For Marvel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Do you know which character I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes, I do, but I didn't know if she was Native.
Here's a picture.
Yeah, because she was. What was the series she showed up in beforehand?
It was with Kingpin. Whatever that. What did we see? Not Hawkeye, but the Kate
Oh.
Bishop.
Yeah, it was Hawkeye, wasn't it?
Is that what it's called, Hawkeye?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the one
yeah,
with Kate
nice.
Bishop
I was like,
that shows up.
the series that Hawkeye's in, the one with Kate Bishop, the one
Yeah.
called Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Echo.
Which was kind of a
is its own spin-off.
mid-ish show. It was decent, but it wasn't. It was okay. It was good.
Yeah.
But she was really good in it.
Alakwa Cox is a Native American actress.
Oh, cool.
Anyways, Alakwa Cox, yes, Native. She is a Native actress, and she is deaf and hails from the Menominee Nation in Wisconsin. Menominee, I think.
Well, we'll put it up here.
She is from this nation in Wisconsin, and she is a deaf actress. She has
Cool.
been breaking barriers.
I didn't know
and
that.
I guess
I knew she was deaf, but just from watching it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does a lot of
so-
sign language in the show.
Yeah, she's a super badass too.
Yeah, her character is so bad, and her show is doing amazing. Yeah, breaking
Yeah, I
barriers.
hope they definitely, if you watch the other Alien Predator movies and you're into the crazy alien kills and stuff, they do, they get, they do a bunch of that.
It's there.
For
It's
sure.
all there.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm confident in saying that any Alien vs. Predator or Alien fans, you'll like it.
Yeah,
I think.
it was fun. I feel like maybe the plot was slightly... I feel like some of the other ones were kind of like cluing in on the universes a little more, and like there was more mystery behind what they were doing because you didn't really know in the first ones, whereas all the stuff is like established at this point. So
it did seem to me that this one, they were trying to be like, oh, what would happen if Predator attacked early man? But also at the same time, it was before Predators had established that connection on Earth, because this Predator, this is a little spoiler, he didn't have the mechanical mask like the rest of them, or like, you know, the metal. It was more organic looking, so he is a different Predator. I think I didn't look up the lore behind it, but I think he was meant to be like an early Predator.
I mean, he would have been a Predator from 300 years earlier.
Yeah, but that also complicates things for me, because as such an advanced species, I feel like they would have still had that technology 300 years ago. So it's a little iffy for me, because they do give you that date of 1719, and there are white people.
Yeah, I mean, because that's post. The white man. I mean, that's post. Like motherfucker.
So if they're trying to make it seem like origins of Predator and origin of man, that doesn't quite fit for me. So that's a critique I'll give it. That it might confuse the timeline a little bit. Well, if you think about it too hard, it makes the timeline a little cloudy.
Yeah, because I don't know.
That would make them jump like really fast, 300 years, which I mean, I guess
make who jump really fast?
Predators. Their technology.
I guess I can't remember what the metal mask thing did so much more than the one he has now in the other movies.
Maybe not that much more, but I mean just the aesthetic and what they wanted us to see of Predator. I feel like they wanted us to think he was like an early Predator.
I just thought he was, I don't know, kind of a Predator.
More of an animal, it seemed like. I don't know. He seemed different than the other Predators that we've seen.
I guess I have to go back and watch the other Predator movies. I have very little point of reference, I guess, because I haven't watched them in so long.
That's okay, I'll show you.
He didn't. I mean, I know he looked. Their faces looked different, but I didn't really recognize too much of a difference in behavior, I guess, that much. But I also can't really remember.
It just seemed like his was straight up bone.
More bony looking. Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, because most of the technology seemed like the same stuff, like the invisibility stuff. The mask was still able to see the heat.
He didn't have the same. He had he didn't have the explosives, I feel like, that the Predators do now.
Oh.
He had propelled, not a bow, but he would shoot like arrows, basically.
Yeah, like bolts. They were like,
and he had
really fast crossbow
claws.
bolts almost.
It was very, if you're thinking primitive technology for a Predator, because they can still heat seek and everything.
Yeah.
Anyways, or heat vision, but I feel like it was.
You're just saying maybe that there was.
Yeah, I think the idea was to have like this is an early
just
Predator.
An earlier version. Yeah, there still had some crazy stuff though, for sure.
Because I mean, he had like the triangulation on like when someone would pick up a weapon, but there was no like writing or like symbols, and I think in the other newer ones, don't they have like their own?
I don't know. Like I'm saying, I haven't seen them. This is the first one I've seen in a really long time of either of those.
It seemed more like they would look like through a screen or something in the newer Predators. I know that's not what it is. That's just how they see. But like,
I feel like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of, I don't know. It seems like, to me, like pretty, I can't even think of the word right now, obscure seeming, like hard to tell. So to me, I guess 300 years seems believable-ish enough, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I didn't even really think about that because I hadn't seen the other ones in so long. Kind of forgot how different their masks were and stuff. But yeah, he definitely had like a bony looking kind of mask.
Sound waves and stuff that they could see.
Yeah, so I guess maybe they were just trying to make it seem like their technology had not quite gotten some advancements in 300 years.
That's a good way to word it. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get across. That it seemed like it was earlier.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of weird that they would have something like complete cloaking technology, but then they wouldn't have slightly more advanced readings on their heat vision goggles.
Yeah.
That is, I guess that's a little silly. If
And
they'd
he
taken
had-
out the heat vision kind of thing, though, I feel like
I
it would have
wanna
been
say
a
his-
big downgrade for Predators.
Yeah. I mean, they can see
It's like
that
a big thing.
without their masks, though they can still.
Oh, that's just how
I
they
think
see
so.
stuff?
Yeah, right? I think.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought that was
I don't know enough about their.
part of their mask thing. Yeah, exactly. I can't remember from the other
Specs.
ones enough. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of the plot stuff had been a little established, other than I guess his less advanced kind of combat stuff, which I guess maybe the plot was a little more than I thought it was then, just because I haven't seen the other ones in so long. Maybe there's a little more connection. I didn't think it really needed it because the action was so good and the straightforward plot was good anyway. Just her wanting to prove herself, showing she could do what anyone else could do, and do a whole bunch of stuff that a lot of the other people didn't want to pay attention to because, you know, they're not girls and that's girl stuff, man. She's just very all arounder and, you know, smart, and they used a lot of, you know, strategic thinking in a couple different spots, and it was good. It was just like nice, straightforward plot, really cool action, cool kills and fighting and stuff. It was a really fun action movie. It was a really good time. I want to give it like an 8. Yeah, I think like an 8, because I wouldn't say it's like it wasn't like an amazing movie, but also it was still really, really fun, and it had some really good sequences and stuff. So, but also not like the most groundbreaking thing ever, other than the really good like native references and stuff. So I don't know. At the same time, I don't like that stuff brings it up to me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good. I had 8 in my head already. Yeah. Before you said it, I should say. I gotta go first sometimes so I don't look like I steal your answer.
Yeah.
But no, I right on the same track. I give it a good 8.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, or at least I don't think it reset any timeline. I'm trying to think of like establishing when humans, or when our cast of the later Predator movies, when they think the first Predator was there. I don't think it fucks up the timeline at all. So as far as like being canon, I approve. And I know that doesn't mean much, but as a fan of the franchise, I approve.
Approve. Me too. I'm also a fan, but I don't remember a lot of it.
That's okay. Just we need to watch them again.
Yeah, we should watch them again. That'd be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then last thing.
Animal fact.
Animal fact.
Animal fact.
Animal fact. Animal fact!
Time to talk about the little
Little motherfucking
cute little
guys.
Everyone thinks they're scary. I think they're adorable.
Yeah, I think they're pretty adorable sometimes. Except when they're, I don't know, trash or something.
They're still adorable then. They eat, I believe, a source that, I will send you a list of sources again. I don't think I did that last time, but this time I will. Pulling from one source in my head, I think it said they can eat up to like 5,000 ticks in one season. We are talking about the great opossum.
Opossum!
To be specific, there are 6 species of opossum. That is not talking about possums, such as the bush-tail possum in Australia. I love them so much. Search for another episode. Though I don't know if they make noise. Sidetrack. Revisit that later. Today, opossums. And specifically the Virginia opossum. That's the one that we have around here.
Oh, okay.
And it's the one that I've worked with in the past. Picture here. I love them so much. They're so sweet. I used to be afraid of them as a child. Very terrified of them because I grew up on a farm, and on the farm they were nasty, and I didn't appreciate them for eating the bugs. I should have when I was younger, but when they were seen, it was more of like, there's a pest, we need to go get rid of it. We need to
they have very
kill
striking little faces.
I will say they are kind of alarming looking.
Yeah, especially at first.
But they're so cute!
Yeah, they are actually. Like, I remember what was her name at Bridges?
Polly is the porcupine.
There was a place that Michaela used to work, and there was some animals there, and one of them was a possum for a while, and she was really cute. She was a cute.
There were multiple possums. They're
I only
lovely.
met one of them, but she was like kind of old.
They have a kind of a short lifespan, so in the wild they'll live like a year or 2.
Oh, really?
In captivity, if
Like
you're
a few
taking
years,
really
right?
good care of them, like 4-ish years,
Yeah.
4 more. and they really easily, I believe it's diabetes that they can get really easily,
Oh, okay.
but I know that they can get fat developments and fatty pockets in their eyes, and that can make them go blind early. They don't have good eyesight anyway, they're nocturnal animals, but I know that you really have to watch what you give them to eat because they can get big quick and unhealthy quick.
She was so nice. She was
Yeah.
such a nice little
They're great
creature.
pets. I worked with animal ambassadors, so they were educational animals that you have public presentations with the creatures, and these possums were very nice. Very good. Made lots of little kids smile and lots of adults smile. But anyways, the Virginia opossum. They are incredibly misunderstood, I think. Around here, growing up, I feel like everyone thought they were nasty, and they do get a reputation because they will dig through trash. That humans have definitely caused them to spread. They used to be just in the more tropical areas like southeast. It is it's the only marsupial of North America is the opossum. All the rest are in Australia, right? But the marsupial that we do have, the opossum, started out in the hotter zone. As we urbanized and spread everywhere, they discovered that they can live in man-made shelters, and they're also opportunistic with their habitats. So to give birth or their babies, or just for sleeping, they will take up other burrows that other animals have already dug. Little tree stumps. Again, they'll get in your roof. They'll get in your basement. But they find somewhere safe. And they stay there. Little freeloaders. I love them. They have a prehensile tail.
That's like the ones that can grab onto
Yeah, they
stuff,
can grab
right?
onto branches.
Oh, that's cool. I guess I did kind of realize that. Also, don't they carry their babies on their back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'm still a bio student after all. Conservation. They do have prehensile tails. It is defined as a tail adapted for grasping and wrapping around things like tree limbs. So it can hang from a tail for a short period of time. Some people think opossums hang from their tails and sleep, but I don't think that's true. From everything I've read, they like their little dens to sleep in. I will say, opossum, I am one of the sticklers for, not always a person to correct you if you say possum, but I do like to point out the fact that it is opossum because possums themselves are very cute. I'll give it to Australia. We did kind of get the scary looking one in this case, but they are so sweet.
I just always thought the O was silent.
Yeah, a
or
lot of people
something.
think that. It's
when I
very
was a
common.
kid.
And it's just common around here that we call them possums too. The origin of that word is actually from native language as well. I'm
really?
not sure again which language I should have. Let me see if I screenshotted it. Oh yes, I did. Okay, perfect. So this is dictionary.com. The word opossum is first recorded in the early 1600s. It comes from a Virginia Algonquin word that is wow, this is not good English. That is transcribed into English as APOSOUM, like opossum, or OPAFSOM. Other similar spellings like that. It roughly translates to white beast or white dog. I saw in a couple different spots that someone was like, it's native for little beast, little dog-like beast, and everywhere else was saying no, it's more like, if you're really going to the root of the word, it's like a white small animal, white small dog type thing.
Okay.
I like to think small little white beast.
That's cool.
One of the first descriptions that I can't remember who exactly wrote it, but the first description that a white man gave of it was it looked like it had a head of a pig, tail of a rat, and was cat-sized. And I thought that summed it up very nicely. Face of a pig, tail of a rat, cat-sized.
Yeah, they are some goofy looking kind of dudes, but
they're fun.
once you know that they're cute, endearing little fellas, it's kind of...
They have 50 teeth. That's another one. 50. I believe
They do got big mouths.
they have the. I don't want to say anything else, but my brain gives me the impression that they have one of the most teeth of mammals or marsupials.
I don't know.
Fact check here. They do have some studies. I can't confirm or deny. I did read that some people think they're smarter than dogs, right around the same as pigs, which I think is really interesting because one, they have a pretty short lifespan, but two, they have the ratio for their brain to body. They have quite small brains. Not gonna call them like bird brains, but their brains are quite small, and to think that they could be, I won't say it's solid fact that they are smarter than dogs, but yeah, they're up there, I guess, which is pretty cool to think about.
Interesting. They never struck me as
Genius, yeah.
the most intelligent
No.
creatures.
So that
Definitely
one's
Friendly, the one I met, but she kind of seemed like a dummy.
Yeah.
Also, she was
debate.
really old though, so maybe she was just very.
Mhm.
She was just like,
Yeah.
whatever, man.
There could be some really cool things to learn about brains there with opossums, which is interesting enough because shout out to my previous place of employment in Bridges for Brain Injury. That's where I met these guys. I'll give them a big shout out.
Animals and their facts.
Animal fact, and they make this noise.
God, go.
And that is something they do as a defensive method.
Oh yeah, is there other noises they make too?
Yes, like some chittering. I'm sure the
Yeah.
babies make cute.
I'll mix in
noises.
some different ones in there.
There's they do play possum. I read conflicting things, so take it with a grain of salt. Take all of my animal facts with a grain of salt. But they
This is just encouragement for you to
do your own
appreciate
research.
cool little animals
Yeah.
and look up some more stuff about them because that's kind of what we're doing.
I'm not really authorized to speak on it, but I am, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Here I am talking about them, but they do lie down and their vision kind of goes. They look glassy-eyed and
They fully pretend they're dead.
yeah. But some people
Forgot
have
about the
said that
phrase
it's
fake.
more like fainting, like actually losing consciousness because they're scared. So,
Oh.
conflicting reports I was reading.
Like defensive fainting.
Yeah, kind of like a fainting goat. Yeah, play dead and then the predator will think either there's something wrong with you or... Which is so silly to me, because as a predator, it's like, oh cool, you're laying down now, thanks. That's what I would think.
But I mean, maybe there's something in standard predator brain, or a lot of them that like...
Go for the chase.
Well, maybe not necessarily that either, but you don't want to eat something that's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe it might have like, maybe it's disease.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
definitely become an adaptation for that, or like a defense mechanism for that reason. I love opossums.
Opossums.
Wait, I have one more thing. I'm sorry. Just because marsupials are crazy. I didn't even mention the fact, I mentioned briefly that it's our only marsupial, but marsupials, 1, are nuts. 2, they're crazy.
Wow, 3. What's the third
3,
one?
they're wild.
insane?
They're insane. Just, no, I just want to talk about the reproduction for just a second. They have, they give birth less than 2 weeks after mating. Their gestation period is like 2 weeks long.
Oh yeah, so that's like when
So
kangaroos, that's why they have like the mega tiny babies right in their pouch for like
Yes.
a long time, right?
Absolutely. So they
Oh.
have the uterus, right? I don't know the structural components of the uterus for an opossum, but I do know with kangaroos there's different chambers of the uterus.
Oh.
Applying it now to opossums again, they the eggs can get fertilized. The babies are born, 2 weeks. I read one report that said they are born the size of honeybees, and another one that said they're born the size of rice. So somewhere in there, they're really tiny. They crawl into the pouch. There will be about 20 born at once. Only like half of that'll make it, and then after, I think it said 6. I'm not even gonna say. After a bit of time, either 6 weeks or 6 days. That's so bad. After a bit of time, the babies develop, and then they'll crawl onto mom's back.
And that's when they're all in the little bomber coaster.
I love it.
It's the best. It's so cute. They're all just hanging out. Aren't there some other things that do it too, like little monkeys and stuff?
Yeah. There's a couple of animals that do like that, but they definitely have the iconic look of
So many of them.
so many babies. And I want to say that they have good maternal care, but I know that at least, it shows that they have many babies in numbers, so that if they lose a couple, it's not a big deal. But they will defend for their babies. They are good moms, but I know there's been cases of at least possums in Australia
Australian ones.
will yeet their baby and then run away.
just throw it to get the other ones to
Yep.
escape and them to be able to escape.
Yep.
Do they have like big?
They have
litters of
one
babies?
baby at a time.
But I mean, I guess if they can have them really quick, it only
Yeah,
takes
that's
a couple.
true. Let's see the bush-tail opossum gestation. Let's see if it's just as short as an opossum. Yep, 18 days.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about bushtail.
And I'm sorry, they're called
possums.
brush-tail possums.
Brushtail possums. We're gonna have to talk about those soon because
That'll be soon.
That was a bonus fact for you. Okay, that's the end of the episode. Bye.
P5!
Thank you for watching P5. See you later. Okay, so update about
Important update.
possums throwing their babies. It's not possums.
It might be them too, like I said, but opossums.
It's the ones we were talking about.
If a mother opossum feels threatened, they will flick one of their babies toward a predator to distract it while they make a run for it with the others. They will not return after feeling threatened.
So they're not that good of mothers. They're bad mothers. They're bad at it. Okay, bye.